Right. So have you ever, tried to introduce your cat to someone new? And it's like, instead of being all cute and cuddly, they turn into like a furry little wrestling match.
Oh, tell me about it.
You're trying to show off how affectionate they can be, and it's just claws and meows and chaos.
Yeah.
But good news, everyone. We are diving deep, 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 deep into the world of cat handling today.
Yes.
And no, it is not as simple as scooping them up like a toddler.
Not at all.
We've got 3 expert videos we've gone through, all about different techniques, different cats, different situations.
Yeah.
No more fumbles. No more accidental scratches.
Yeah.
We're going pro.
Exactly. And I mean, it's amazing how many people think cats are just like tiny dogs with a bit less enthusiasm,
Right.
But their anatomy, their instincts, how they communicate, it's a whole different ballgame.
Totally. And, one thing that really struck me that all the experts agreed on was that before you even think about picking up your cat, making sure they feel safe and supported is key.
It's like setting the stage right.
Yes.
For a good experience, because a stressed out cat, well, they're more likely to get defensive and then nobody's happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One expert put it hilariously. Trying to hold a cat without that secure, supported feeling, it's like someone dangling you off a cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, those claws make a lot more sense.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in, shall we? The first technique a lot of these videos highlighted is often called the scoop and tuck.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a great starting point if you've ever played, like, claw roulette trying to pick up your cat.
Claw roulette, that's good.
Right. The expert breaks it down really simply. You use one hand to support your cat's chest. Okay. Like you're holding something fragile, which you are. Right. Then use your other hand to secure their back legs, making sure their weight's even between your hands.
Okay.
And what's interesting is, by supporting both the chest and back legs, you're mimicking how a mother cat carries her kittens.
Oh, wow.
So it taps into that natural instinct.
Wow.
And then you bring them close to your body for that added warmth, that security.
So if your cat's like mine and turns into Houdini anytime the carrier comes out,
Oh, yeah.
the scoop and tuck, this is our secret weapon for a less stressful experience.
Exactly. For both of you.
Okay, excellent.
Now, the second video we looked at dealt with a technique that's a little more, shall we say, controversial, but often misunderstood, the scruff hold.
Yeah. I was surprised to see how many experts still recommend this.
Yeah.
But they were very clear about doing it correctly, right?
Oh, absolutely. Safely and correctly. And it comes down to understanding the why. You see, when a mother cat picks up her kittens, she'll often grasp them by the scruff of their neck.
Like a built-in handle, almost.
Precisely. And for kittens, this often triggers this calming reflex, like swaddling.
Oh, okay.
But, and I can't stress this enough, we are not saying to pick up your adult cat solely by the scruff.
No.
All the experts emphasize that.
Yeah.
With adult cats, the scruff hold is more about gentle restraint than lifting them. It's about using that instinct to your advantage, but in combination with supporting their weight.
Right, so they never feel like they're dangling.
Exactly. So it's more about having that extra bit of control, maybe if you need to give medication, trim their claws, and you're worried they'll squirm.
Makes sense.
Now, speaking of a secure hold, the third video really focused on what's often called the football carry.
Okay.
This one seems great if you need a quick, secure hold, especially if your cat's a bit agitated, you need to move quickly.
Okay, so like picturing those moments, my cat sees a fly on the wall. I need stealth and speed. The football carry, is that my go-to?
It could be. This one involves tucking your cat under your arm, their body snug against you, head towards your elbow. Might feel weird at first,
Yeah.
but it can be surprisingly soothing for them.
So it is. It's like swaddling a baby, that gentle pressure.
Exactly. One expert even said that for cats prone to anxiety, this can actually lower their heart rate.
Wow. So it's not just physical, it affects their emotional state too.
Precisely.
Okay.
And again, really helpful if you need to, say, trim their claws, give medication, and you want to minimize their stress.
Create that little cocoon of security.
Exactly.
It's so important in those moments. Now, mastering these techniques, that's huge, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the experts all agreed, true cat whispering goes beyond just the physical how-to.
You got it. You can have perfect technique, but if you're not paying attention to their signals, it's not going to be a positive experience for anyone.
It's like having a conversation, but you're not listening to the other person's responses.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where what we call beyond the basics comes in. These videos, they weren't just about the mechanics of holding. It was about building trust, communication, almost like learning a new language. It's like they have this whole vocabulary, you know?
Yeah.
Those little tail twitches, their ears, those slow blinks.
That's true.
They're telling us so much if we just, like, learn to listen.
It's like they have this whole language we're just starting to understand.
Exactly. And one of the most important phrases in that language is approach with caution. Cats, they need their space.
Yeah.
Respecting that is key.
So no, like, swooping in for a surprise hug when they're clearly giving off do not disturb vibes.
No. The videos had some great tips on those cues, like ears flattened back, tail twitching like crazy.
Okay.
Those are stressed or agitated signals. Back off, give them space.
It's like their version of a mood ring, but it's all in the ears and tail.
Right. And on the flip side, if they come up to you, tail high, that gentle curve at the tip,
Yeah.
that's friendly and approachable.
Extending that little olive branch.
Exactly.
I love that.
Now, speaking of approaching, one expert talked about shoulder cats, and this really resonated.
Okay.
You know those cats who are just drawn to perch high up, like they rule the world?
Oh yeah, they see a human shoulder as their own personal Everest.
Right. And handling them is a bit different because of that climbing instinct. You gotta, like, anticipate their moves, provide guidance, not just try to restrict them.
So work with those instincts instead of seeing it as something to fix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Finding that balance between letting them be themselves, but also setting gentle boundaries.
And boundaries, that's something that stood out to me too. Tailoring our approach to the individual cat.
Oh, 100%.
What works for one might not fly with another.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Right.
Every cat, they have their own personality, their quirks, their preferences.
So ditch the generic how-to guide it's all about.
Yeah.
Becoming a student of your own cat.
Yeah.
Observing, adapting.
Precisely. I mean, some cats, they love a good belly rub.
Right.
Others, that's an act of war.
Right. It's like one cat's paradise is another one's hysteria.
Yes.
We've got to learn their individual languages.
And one way to do that kept coming up was positive reinforcement, rewarding those small wins.
Okay. So like we're channeling our inner Pavlov.
Yes.
Conditioning them to be like handling, oh, that means good things.
Exactly. If they stay calm during a short handling session, praise, a treat, a favorite toy.
Okay.
You build that positive association, they're more likely to cooperate next time.
It's like building that handling is fun muscle memory.
Yeah.
One pasty treat at a time.
Exactly. And, you know, one expert even suggested incorporating play into handling. I thought that was brilliant.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's about shifting their focus from, oh, this could be scary, to pure fun.
Right.
So engage them with a toy, get them moving, excited, then transition into gentle handling.
It's like those Jedi mind tricks, but instead of these are not the droids you're looking for, it's look, a feathery distraction.
Exactly. Use those instincts to your advantage. Make it fun for everyone.
Okay. I love that.
And speaking of things that can make this more enjoyable, the scent factor came up, and it's fascinating. Our cats pay way more attention to our scent than we realize. Their sense of smell is so powerful.
Which explains how they always seem to know when we've been petting other animals.
Exactly. One expert suggested that before handling, especially if they're new or wary, let them sniff your hand first.
Oh, interesting. So like a handshake, but it's a sniff test.
Exactly. And if you've been handling like cleaning products, other animals, wash your hands thoroughly beforehand. We don't want to overwhelm them with scents right before we try to pick them up.
Right. So scent hygiene matters. Got it.
It does. Now, shifting gears a bit, what about those cats who just seem to really dislike being picked up no matter what you trace?
Ah, yes. The independent souls who remind us that cats are not just furry cuddle machines on demand.
Right. They're individuals. And for those cats, forcing affection, big mistake.
So as much as we might want to shower them with love, sometimes the kindest thing is giving them space.
Absolutely. It's about finding other ways to show you care that respect their comfort level.
So instead of that forced cuddle, maybe a gentle chin scratch, playing with their favorite toy.
Exactly. Meeting them where they are. And who knows, with patience, maybe those cuddles will come when you least expect it.
Ah.
I love that. Speaking of patience, that's another big takeaway from all these experts. This isn't a one-time lesson, it's a process.
Right.
Observation, communication, adaptation.
It is like learning a language.
It is.
Yeah.
It takes time, practice, and you're going to make mistakes along the way. And speaking of mistakes, one of the biggest is trying to handle them when they're just not in the mood.
Right. They have their own rhythm, their own thing going on. So, like, trying to wrangle a playful kitten when they're in the middle of zoomies is probably not the best strategy.
Unless you want a lesson in feline parkour. It's about reading those cues. Are they actually open to interaction? Maybe not right after they wake up from a nap, for example.
They're still in that blissful sleep haze.
Exactly. Look for those moments when they are seeking attention, rubbing against your leg, head boops.
Yeah, those are good signs.
Those are your invitations. Respond with respect and affection.
I like that.
Now, one expert showed this cool technique for cats who are on the fence about being handled using a towel as a handling aid.
Oh, like swaddling them up.
Yes.
Like a little burrito.
It can be really effective for some cats, that feeling of being wrapped in something soft and familiar. It creates that sense of security, like the football hold.
So we're tapping into that, like, primal need to be in a cozy cocoon.
Exactly. Especially good for cats new to handling, stressed, anxious. That gentle pressure is like swaddling a baby.
It makes sense. Blocking out the world.
Yeah.
Just feeling safe. Are there, like, special techniques for using a towel?
Yeah. Approach calmly, speak gently, drape the towel over their back, wrap it around, but make sure their limbs are supported, heads free. You want gentle restraint, not a straitjacket.
Right. And it's got to be a towel that smells familiar, right?
Yeah.
No extra stress from weird scents.
Exactly. This can be great for cats recovering from surgery, new to a home, or just generally anxious. Just that extra comfort when they're feeling vulnerable.
Like a hug, but with a towel.
There you go. Now, we've talked about patience, consistency.
Right.
But how do we actually do that day to day?
Yeah, that's the question.
One expert said, think of it like brushing their fur. With patience, consistency, it can become this nice bonding experience.
Okay.
So just like you wouldn't expect them to love a full body brushing on day one, right?
Right.
Same with handling. Start with short, positive sessions. Make it part of their routine.
Okay, so it's not this big event that only happens at the vet.
Exactly. Gentle stroking, picking them up for a few seconds, touching their paws, ears.
Just making it normal.
Normal and positive.
Yeah.
And just like brushing, you start slow, keep it short and sweet, and gradually increase the time as they get more comfortable.
Got it. And always those little rewards along the way.
Yes, a little praise, a treat. It's amazing what we can achieve with a little patience and positive reinforcement.
That's so true.
Now, one expert brought up something really interesting. How our energy, our emotions can affect how our cat reacts during handling.
Oh, interesting.
It's like we need to master our own zen before we can even think about mastering the cat hold. It's so true. Cats, they're like these little furry empaths, right?
Hey.
They pick up on our vibes, our emotions, even like how we're breathing. If we're stressed, anxious, they're going to mirror that.
It's true.
Not a recipe for a chill handling session.
Not at all. So it's less about the specific moves and more about, like, cultivating that calm, assertive energy.
100%. One expert suggested, and stick with me here, incorporating like mindfulness stuff into our routine.
Okay.
Before handling, take some deep breaths. Picture a positive outcome. Might sound a bit out there,
Yeah.
but it can change the whole vibe.
Okay, so I should be picturing myself like the ultimate cat whisperer.
Why not?
Just radiating calmness.
There you go.
Okay.
Now, one thing we haven't talked about is applying all this to those, let's say, less fun handling times, like vet visits.
Oh, yeah.
Stressful.
Carrier battles are legendary in my house.
I hear you. But good news, the experts had tips on making those less traumatic too.
Okay, good.
One expert said, start by like making friends with the carrier before the vet.
Okay.
Don't let it be this scary thing that only shows up when it's vet time.
Right.
Leave it out. Toss some treats inside. Let them explore it.
So they're like, oh, this is a cool hangout spot, not a torture chamber.
Exactly. Positive associations.
Yeah.
And when it is go time, remember those deep breaths.
Yes. Mindfulness in action.
Exactly. Calm energy. And once they're in the carrier, towel over it, security blanket.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Speak soothingly. Let them know it's okay. It's amazing what those little things can do.
It really is. It's like it takes the edge off for everybody.
Absolutely. No, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the claw marks on the hand.
Right, right.
Biting, scratching.
Yeah.
Every cat owner's been there, and it's like, dude, what gives?
It's so frustrating.
Right. But here's the thing. Most of the time, it's not aggression. It's communication.
Okay.
They're scared, threatened, overstimulated. They can't say that.
Right.
So claws, teeth, that's their way of saying, nope, not into this.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's really about learning to interpret those signals.
Exactly. If we're calm, using those techniques we talked about, paying attention,
We can avoid a lot of those situations altogether.
it's like we need to get fluent in feline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into like cat handling 101,
Yeah.
the big takeaway for me is really that trust, that understanding. These videos showed it's so much more than just the physical act of picking them up.
It really is. It's about seeing them not as like these mysterious creatures,
Right.
but as these individuals with their own needs, their own ways of communicating.
Yes. We meet them halfway, learn their language, respect their boundaries.
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens.
And then it becomes this beautiful dance, right? We learn from them, they learn from us.
It is a dance.
It is.
Who knows what we'll discover as we keep exploring this amazing world of cats.
I love that. Well, that is all the time we have for today's deep dive on cat handling.
We hope you learned some great stuff to help you and your feline friend have the best bond possible. Remember, patience, understanding, a whole lot of love. That's the key.
It really is. Until next time, happy handling, everyone.